It's a little drama between Turkey Tom and Sneeko. Hey, why not? I'm interested. Why not? Let's just feed into the meme. Anyway, I guess Turkey Tom, I saw that he made a video. People asked me to watch it. It's like an hour-long video about Sneeko, and I didn't watch it from 2 weeks ago. I didn't really care. But now there's a little back and forth. So now I've encouraged to watch it. Now I'm like, let's get in on it. Let's see what's going on. So let's get this part going. Let's watch it. This is called the Banned Andrew Tater Tot Clone. Very pogger. Let's go.
October 2022, the infamous YouTuber Sneeko was banned from the platform. According to news outlets, this was due to him repeatedly breaking community guidelines. Though
the ultimate like straw in the camel's back, if you will, was that they got him on like ban evasion because after they had banned him, he posted on like his other account saying, "Guys, I'm banned" or something like that. So yeah, but he was being very disrespectful. So it is what it is. You know, I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing to ban people because I think that fundamentally one of the biggest issues is that, or it's in some of these instances, is that like Sneeko takes him and his following to another account like Rumble now, and they go onto Rumble. And now people are watching Rumble and they're just kind of engaging with other people on there, banned users that think that like freedom of speech is dead in like this profound way and promote conspiracy theories as to why they're banned. And it just sucks people over there and it removes their ability to watch other stuff. Whereas on like YouTube, we could all just laugh and ridicule this individual for being a silly goose. This is his silly goosery. And, you know, the comments can be like, "You are such a sussy baka." So, well. Which I think was happening anyway. I think he was turning into a lol cow, and now he gets to generate a conspiracy-esque idea about himself.
The specific meaning of this is unclear. In the 6 months before his ban, he went from a moderately popular content creator to one of the biggest streamers on the site, regularly going live to more than 20,000 of his extremely loyal, rabid fan base. Some call him a savant social commentator, while others relegate his entire online presence to the promotion of hate, ignorance, and misogyny.
Yeah, realistically speaking, man, here's what's going on with Sneeko is that he used to have a pretty big, I say this a lot, but he used to have a pretty big wow, that thing died very, very quickly. He used to be a very revered content creator, right? And what happened is, what I think is that Sneeko, people revere him as somebody who used to be super intelligent. I don't think that he ever was. I think that he was always cosplaying as somebody else. He would watch other content creators and go like, "Oh, wow, like I like this person's perspective. Let me give you a very bland or a very non-fleshed out, version of it." And he made his content. He transitioned to On the Street. It was always highly curated content. But then once he went to live streaming and he got a new daddy, a new person to set an example for himself of, it's Andrew Tate. I don't know if there's any actual depth to Sneeko or if he's been so online content brain that he's pretty much just done forever. Like he hasn't developed his own personality, which is probably what happens when you grow up being popular and famous and whatnot. But yeah, I don't think that there was anything particularly intelligent or introspective that came from Sneeko other than like watered down takes from other people. And he's just doing Andrew Tate's takes now as his watered down takes instead of somebody else. So, that's what I think.
One side celebrates him being cast into the Shadow Realm, considering it a win for a more tolerant environment. However, this is far from the consensus. A whole host of people, not necessarily fans of his, by the way, see his banning as a depressing sign of the times, that the climate no longer allows for old-school, politically incorrect YouTube, and Sneeko is one of its most prominent scapegoats. But who is Sneeko?
Well, the one thing I will say is with the whole thing where he was like, the harassment of Chad in that one video, I think is what prompted a lot of what prompted YouTube to really like go hard on him. I mean, he was simulating, nothing. I don't want to say anything super suspicious, but he was harassing that content creator. He was like simulating, doing it with her in a way that's uncomfortable. If you did that at the real world at a real job, they would fire you for that. That is sexual harassment. And I think that they really hit him on that because it was inappropriate. And they saw it and they're like, wow, this is inappropriate and this is gross and we shouldn't allow this, which they wouldn't allow in the real world. He pushed it too far with some of that stuff. Like you can't be flat out that disrespectful. So for that, like, yeah, you deserve some kind of a ban. Honestly, if you're going to do that, if you're going to simulate this on like another creator, especially like that, like so aggressively. So,
What does he stand for, if anything?
Nothing.
People keep saying they want the old Sneeko back, and I want to address this. You don't have to be a fan to understand this video. Look at my comments, you'll see half the people watching want to fight. It's unsettling to see someone you relate to become unrelatable.
Chapter 1, The Up and Up.
Sneako, real name Nico, was born on September 8th, 1998,
really his
just
real
in
name?
time to grow up alongside the internet. Like the rest of Generation Z, he got to watch as it slowly but surely eroded the space once monopolized by traditional legacy media. When you see a teeming cultural shift like that happening, it's only natural to try and join it and ride the wave. He created his YouTube channel on April 9th, 2013, naming it Sneako, a clear portmanteau of his first name. At the time, Nico's uploads to the channel consisted of the tried and true Call of Duty commentary routine. While mostly adhering to the commentary formula, he would attempt to put his spin on the concept, which often meant
Yeah, and like, listen, I'm not trying to be rude, and this is how most content creation works. But it's one of those things where people, like a lot of people in general, do this. They will watch someone else's video, and I know I watch other content, but they'll watch someone else's video, finish it, and then they'll give a regurgitated take. Like, there's usually, like, for instance, let's say in like the video essayist area, I don't know what you would call it, but like we're gonna say that Sunny V2 dominates that sphere. You know what sphere I'm talking about. I don't know how you'd say it. And he does his own original content, and then somebody else will like kind of look at it and go like, "Ooh, good topic," and then other people in that same sphere will start doing content on it. That's how most spheres work when it comes to content. They'll kind of wait for someone else's perspective. And I watch other people's content too. I don't wait for other people to give me the perspective. I do watch other people's, like I do react to content and stuff. But that's kind of like how it is. And I think, again, that's where most of Sneako's content came from, is like, you know, looking at someone else who was probably doing the same thing in a predominant way, and then being like, here, let me give my take on it, which is the same take, but a little different because it's coming from Sneako. And it seems a little more introspective because I'm young, and people think I'm more mature, but, you know, really what it comes down to.
delving into political discussion over his gameplay.
Alright, so the main issue we're going to talk about today, like we said, is separation of church and state. The question at hand is, should the U.S. intervene in Syria?
Imagine you're in a BO2 lobby and you just hit this little motherfucker. Should the U.S. intervene in Syria? It's like, nigga, plant the bomb at B. Shut the fuck.
Sneako always made a point of being as transparent as possible in his beliefs, harboring an open discussion on various topics, from wacky internet shenanigans to gun control to critiques of feminism. Looking at it from a neutral perspective, he was actually a good deal ahead of the curve when it came to controversy maxing, which later became the MO of seemingly every commentary YouTuber.
Because now that a lot of people are finding this, they're saying, why are you just copy and tape? I've been saying the same since 2015. I've been on YouTube.
No, he hasn't. The thing is that like there is saying something and then there's like a way you say something. He has not been saying these things the same way. From what it seems like, back in the day, he used to question some of these things a little bit more. He might have questioned, you know, or had like a perspective that was more questioning of dynamics between men and women or whatnot, but it didn't seem to be disrespectful. Whereas now he flat out thinks that men and women are just not equal in any capacity. Women shouldn't be respected. He said this to me in our conversation. So like it's very different. It's that like he's changed. He might have had the same general idea, but he's not the same as he used to. It's a cope that he's saying. Like literally, it's almost like a gaslight because we know that it's not true. People who watch him are like, well, which we had the old single. No, I've never changed. It's like, okay, like there's no way that you have a massive collective of your audience saying that they miss the old you. There's no way that you have all these people saying this, and then like it's just not true. It just doesn't even make sense. It's just logically inaccurate.
For a long time. I've been on the same since 2000. I started my channel in 2013. If you don't believe me, if you think that I'm just riding a wave right now,
You are.
get off my.
During this period, he enjoyed a moderate amount of success, cultivating a loyal fanbase intrigued by what he had to say. Eventually, this led him to drop out of college to pursue a career as a full-time content creator. At the time, it seemed risky, especially considering that having YouTube as a job was an even less believable prospect than it is now for the average person. Nonetheless, it paid off. His content would evolve, keeping the edge that intrigued so many during his Call of Duty commentary days, but now with a more philosophical bend to it, if you could call it that. He started recording and editing video essays and think pieces on ego, catcalling, obesity, and his position as a content creator, and what would eventually be termed a social media influencer. This desire to seek what he saw as truth through funny would lead Sneako down the path of notoriety.
Right now, with the amount of eyes I have on me, I could fart out 7 videos a week, make them all 10 minutes long so YouTube would let me spam the mid-roll ads for mobile games. But what's the fun in that? I would hate my own videos. People would know that I'm only in it for the money.
Sneako would always have the propensity to collaborate with other creators to boost the growth of his online presence. When Drama Alert, which back then was at the peak of its game, was looking for a guest star to read a series of statements by a notorious YouTube prankster, FouseyTube, Nico would jump at the opportunity. Neither Sneako nor Keemstar could have seen the absolute diarrhea hurricane about to ensue. Keemstar...
The fuck?
Keemstar would give the
Yeah, I think that Sneako ended up like being a dumb fuck and ruining that opportunity in some capacity.
job to Sneako, despite Nico's age and the personal animosity between the two.
Which I don't think was unique. I think the similar thing happened with I think a similar thing happened with Mr. Beast, no?
The voiceover that Sneeko returned to Keemstar was,
The reading that you did was shit. And then when I told you it wasn't good privately told you it wasn't good, privately told you I'm not going to use it, you had a hissy fit like a little boy and tried to get back at
Damn.
Keemstar because you had an opportunity to be in front of 400,000 people and you blew it, but you couldn't accept the fact that you did a bad job. Instead, you tried to pass the buck on me.
Sneeko wasn't about to take this
Damn.
hit to his pride sitting down. After losing the opportunity to reach such a
good
large
one.
audience, he would resort to another way of making it big, stirring the pot. For once, Sneeko actually pioneered a new genre of YouTube videos instead of just contributing to an already existing one. This innovative category was nothing other than Keemstar Exposed videos, which up until that point were scant since the majority of YouTubers either ignored him or wanted to be on his good side. Like
that's
many
funny.
pioneers of experimental new art
Okay,
pieces,
that makes sense.
Sneeko's video would go entirely unappreciated. Once again, he failed to enter the limelight, and Nico deleted the
Wow.
expose soon after its publication.
Incredible.
The notorious Gnome and Sneeko would convene on episode 11 of the #Triggered podcast. While Keemstar confronted Sneeko for leaking private discussions and breaking his trust, Sneeko attempted to prove the opportunity was a setup, and Keemstar wanted him to fail all along.
My point is how non-important Sneeko is. But in Sneeko's mind, the world revolves around him, right? We're talking about all these people that offer to do this job, right? And I pick Sneeko. How am I holding a grudge against him? I'm not fucking giving him the opportunity just so he can fucking fail.
That's not what
I'm
you said.
giving him the
That's not what you said.
opportunity to see if he fails or
You
not.
went and started messaging me at 3 a.m. and you said, I picked you out of hundreds that asked me to do the reading. Part of me knew you were going to fail, going in, to be honest. I just wanted a reason to call you a loser, and now I have it.
Another
I mean, I don't know the context, but it's possible he said that as a cope afterwards. That maybe that's what I kind of just doubt that. I kind of doubt that that's what his motivation. In my personal experience, there was never an intentional "I want you to fail" type of a mentality. He probably just didn't do a particularly good job at the reading, and he was told that, and he probably got butthurt over it, and then they had some kind of argument. And then, yeah, Keemstar may have said something along the lines of like, "Well, I wanted to see if you fail, and I knew you would," as like a hate thing rather than actually thinking that. But I could be wrong.
thing that everyone must know about Sneeko is that he does not follow the golden rules of YouTube. All right? Any YouTuber knows you do not disclose any private conversations with
That's
other
coming from Drama
YouTubers.
Alert right here. You're telling me that I can't be trusted. That's
I know you can't be trusted. Don't cry, dude. If you seriously cry, they will
How is
never
he
stop.
crying?
Your channel got shut down, didn't it? Me and my team sat there and worked for fucking weeks to try to get your channel back. How come you hate me though? You hate me. I'm a bad guy.
The bridge that Sneeko would burn so early in his career as a YouTuber would never again be repaired. The two would simply go their separate ways and only speak to one another again after the better part of a decade.
Yo, what up, Keem? Remember me?
Yeah, I was telling the story how I hired you to read something and you didn't.
Oh yeah, this is on my conversation with him for sure. Okay.
Horribly, and you tried to expose
Look, it's
me.
oh look, there I am, guys. Oh yay, what a conversation. Oh god, I didn't know I was in it.
Yeah, I was 16, bro. I mean, I learned from that. That was a long time ago. But ultimately, what I learned from that is I wanted to be independent and I didn't want to work for anybody. But I didn't know how to phrase it properly back then. And I'm glad that I decided to work for myself and not work for you.
However, this wouldn't be the only opportunity that Sneeko let slip through his fingers due to his unbridled desire for clout.
I've known him for years now. He used to be a fan of my channel, like a big fan.
At number 2, I have Sneeko, and if you've ever seen Sneeko's videos, you realize that they're kind of addicting. Once you start watching them, it's kind of hard to stop. He's so straightforward with things, and he's not biased on anything. He'll let you know anything that's on his mind.
Mr. Beast was once a relatively
biased?
small YouTuber,
He may have used that word incorrectly. I don't know.
if you can believe that, and his
I
content
know I'm
came from the same
I'm
strain
famous now, guys. I was featured in a Turkey Tom video twice. I think I don't know. I was in it for like 2 seconds, like 2 videos. So that's cool. Okay, obviously I'm irrelevant in those videos. My videos just used as a reference. But hey, listen, small victories. Am I right, guys? Small victories.
as Sneeko's. Commentary over epic Call of Duty gameplay. During this time, the two would often talk with one another in comment sections, hyping up each other's videos and being generally supportive. Their similar ages and desire to be the best on the platform would spark a kinship between the two burgeoning creators.
I was in his videos and stuff, like making jokes, like helping edit, like helping set up the stuff.
How'd you meet him?
From YouTube, because I was doing Call of Duty videos for years beforehand. So we had known each other from comment sections when I was 14, 15. With Mr. Beast, it was crazy because I knew him for years. He was always commenting, encouraging me, saying positive things. He would pass me, I would pass him. And then out of nowhere, he blew up. It really just tested my ego.
Fundamentally, Sneeko wanted to work for himself.
I can understand that, growing up with somebody, or growing as a content creator with somebody, with somebody else, and then like them blowing up. That's why it's really good to, and that's just like fundamentally in life. where like you see somebody in your life that you like started with and you were in the same area, and then like it's upsetting when they pass you, because it makes you feel like, well, why am I not there? What am I doing wrong? And I think a really good way to try to engage with that is to understand that like other people's success is nothing to do with you, and you shouldn't like use it as a way to try to hold yourself back. Somebody else doing well for themselves shouldn't make you feel like less of a person or less accomplished just by association. You will inevitably feel that, and I understand it, and it's okay to feel that. I think it's actually good to feel that, because it can be motivating to be like, oh man, I'm not doing as well as this person. I want to, but don't let that be like a negative. Take it in stride and go like, it's okay. Like that doesn't define my success, because if you start trying to emulate their success, oftentimes you're going to fail. You need to, a lot of times it could just be like a luck or consistency thing. And I'm not saying Mr. Beast is a bad content creator. I mean, like it's a lot, oftentimes for good content creators, they're good, and then they need that luck to make them pop off, because there's 100 good content creators, you know what I mean, or 1,000 of them, and it's just like who gets to pop and that kind of a thing. And sometimes you need to just kind of like, you know, stay on course and do your thing, and you know, wait for your moment, your time to shine, you know.
Himself, ideally by himself,
hey, what's going on, man?
building his own following, wealth, and content with little concern for anything else. His failed run-ins with various creators most likely led to this outlook. He wanted success, he wanted money, and the supposed freedom it would give him. But he wouldn't bend to an algorithm to attain it. As a matter of fact, he would actively strive against it whenever given the opportunity. If he was going to be the best on the platform, he would do it on his own terms.
When I started working for Mr. Beast, I was blown away at how he was making videos. I was used to people just around filming in public. He was operating his crew like a business.
Mr. Beast, on the other hand, sought to study and dissect the algorithm itself, researching the most minute details of a video and how it reflected on his performance.
For example, when we were making this Lego car video, he was absolutely sure it was going to go viral before we even started filming. It took 3 days to assemble these cars. We had to strip down the golf cart, strip down the go-kart, take these drills and attach the Legos one by one. It was a lot of work, but the whole time he had this image in mind of those Lego cars going down the street in the thumbnail with the Photoshop cop car in the back. The title is I Built a Working Car Using Only Legos. You don't need to watch that video to know that it's viral.
Sneako saw this fabricated, exaggerated persona that Mr. Beast put on and found it repulsive. In his mind, Mr. Beast was bending the knee to the algorithm, which he thought was unacceptable. However, he never actually got around to quitting.
Is that what he actually thought? That's silly. Mr. Beast is just trying to make... There's a difference between what do you say, pandering? It's one, like, bro, he's doing content that he wants, like, oh, I'm doing a silly car about video about a Lego car. That's fine. It's cool to play into the algorithm for that, because there's nothing like socially damaging. But if you're doing something like, oh, I'm going to lie about my perspective on a topic for the algorithm, that's different. Like, yeah, that's obviously shitty. But if you're just making a fucking Lego car video, obviously you want it to be successful. What are you talking about?
Since that choice would be taken for him when a representative of Mr. Beast informed Sneako that he didn't need to return to production that summer. Just like that, Mr. Beast had quietly dropped Sneako.
I started working for Mr. Beast 2 years ago. It didn't last long because I got caught up with my ego. I was working for a guy that used to be my fan, but I saw him change his YouTube channel to match the algorithm. He fit everything he did so that it would go viral. Sell out or...
I think this is a cope. I don't think that's like selling out. Selling out is changing your perspective on something for fame. That's not like learning what people like, and because that's all. What is he doing? He's not doing commentaries. Mr. Beast is doing some fucking... He's doing like fun little silly videos. Not the same thing. I think that the sellout argument is like been a big cope for Sneako, because he has sold out. He's sold out to the manosphere for as much money and attention as he could possibly get. But because the manosphere tends to be, anti-mainstream, it seems like it's not a sellout. He can market it as like, oh guys, I didn't sell out. I just learned the truth. And I've always felt this way, when it's not really the truth, right? Like he's just like, it's just something that he can engage in. That's why he wanted to do the same like Hustlers University bullshit that Andrew Tate does, where they don't make money off of it. It's a grift. And he's like fed into it. So I don't even think he like realizes it to some extent.
Or not, that's a fucking smart move. I remember telling him about how my ADHD stops me from editing. I overthink my videos. Sometimes I get too lazy. And he just looks at me and goes, oh, just don't do that. Just pay someone to edit. Just don't be lazy.
Nico would interpret this as an attack on his pride, and he would not...
I have ADHD too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want to say. Like, you have to overcome your issues, or else you're just going to be a fucking victim. That is the reality, man. For sure. So...
Ticket lying down. Sneako would post a video attempting to expose his former associate, cementing this pattern of attacking people he formerly worked with as a habit of his. If he was going down, he was bringing Jimmy right with him.
So what happened? Context. Mr. Beast fired me, and I made an exposed video, and I said that he's not real in his videos, and that he doesn't swear and he doesn't curse and he peels. I made like an exposed video of Mr. Beast trying to talk about the fraud that goes on behind the scenes.
Because he doesn't curse in his videos, there's you're exposed, bro. Who cares? He's just trying to make himself like, who cares whether you do or don't curse? Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, what does that matter? Like, maybe he just wants to be a little more child friendly on screen, but he's like, yeah, I curse a little bit at the free time. It's not that big of a deal. Like, we're gonna survive. That's not like, oh, because he curses a little bit in the real world, but he doesn't on his videos. That means he's sold out. Incredible.
I deleted it right away. Almost nobody saw it, but he saw it. And we were like in a situation where we could have been friends, and that completely ruined it.
Sensing that he had overstepped the line by a wide margin, Nico would regret.
It's interesting that he seems to consistently burn bridges with people, thinking that he's actually going to engage in an expose and afterward doing this apology. But like, how genuine does it come off when he only apologizes after it didn't work? Do you think he would have apologized if it went well? Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like it seems like he engages in this like, oh, I feel somebody wronged me, so now I'm going to try to, can I die here? Now I'm going to try to hurt them, take away this, that, and the other thing, you know?
Fully pull the video just a few hours after its publication. Nonetheless, the damage...
Yeah, a few hours. I wonder why he pulled it. It's probably because it was getting negative reception. And once again, he's so ego-filled, he probably thought it was going to do better.
Was done, and it was seemingly irreversible. Sneako, once again, turned against the people who gave him a shot at working from a larger platform, and the two have yet to mend their broken ties.
Right after I got fired, I was tight. I didn't have any subs at the time. I had like 27K, but I made like a Mr. Beast exposed video trying to like get some redemption from it. And it only got 30 views. I took it down in 10 minutes. Mr. Beast was one of the 30 views, and so like...
I thought you left it up for a few hours. Okay, whatever.
Bro, we don't really talk anymore. We went from like being possible friends and stuff like that to like me doing that fucked up the relationship forever.
Nico burnt the bridge, and the two's relationship...
I wonder why Mr. Beast didn't want him there in the first place if he had fired him at some point.
Possibly for life, though it seems that his tone has become much more amicable recently. In a recent appearance on the Boys Cast podcast, he would even show some degree of gratitude for Mr. Beast's mentoring on the inner workings of running a successful YouTube channel.
It's great to see him get on podcasts now because he gave me all that info when I was working with him.
As his YouTube account lulled on its way to success, Sneako took up odd jobs for a while, using his experiences to tell stories to his online fanbase. One of these jobs happened to be modeling, something that would haunt him later in his career. The Spectre...
Well, I know they're going to talk about Brandon Buckingham, like exposing, like showing Sneako people that image, which I think was shitty of Brandon. I understand Brandon's like frustrations, and I totally respect it because Sneako tried to like falsely accuse him of threatening to assault his girlfriend, which was BS. Sneako did a really bad thing, but I think that like I wouldn't have crossed that line. But I do understand why Brandon did it. I just think it was wrong. So yeah.
Of wearing female sweatpants never entirely left his consciousness.
I didn't know I was gonna look this stupid. It's so weird seeing you on the screen. I gotta tell you, like, this is the first time I got paid doing modeling, ever. Might be the last.
Sneako would seek to diversify his content to use the YouTube platform he had built for years as a foundation to finally achieve his dream job, being a comedian.
I'm so afraid to lose another 2 years that now I specifically go out of my comfort zone.
I started doing stand-up comedy, and I've bombed so hard, I've wanted to jump on the train tracks too.
I started modeling and even got signed to an agency, which has been humbling for my ego. I get called a fuckboy a lot, if you can't tell. CEO crowds, you know what fuckboy means.
Yeah,
right?
You're wearing is that Knockoff Supreme?
Knockoff Supreme? You think I'm broke? I said I dropped out to do YouTube. It's real Supreme.
Give me the mic to do. I came all the way to do my set. What are you gonna say?
As Sneako went his own way, he began moving away from the...
I find it interesting because, like, first of all, when it comes to stand-up, that's a very difficult thing to do. So, like, if him failing at stand-up, I don't think there's really a knock against him necessarily. You see some of the greats fail, like the Deaf Noodles. No, but what I find ironic or what I find ridiculous is that he was so hard on Curtis Connor stand-up. And it's like, why would you do that if you're... You know what I mean? Like, you should understand that that difficulty of standing up in front of a bunch of people. Especially since Curtis Connor is apparently better. People like his stuff more. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Collective style of videos that made him famous. Instead, he began covering the views of other people. This evolution in his content took the form of a new, recurring man-on-the-street type series, a lot like Steven Crowder's Change My Mind segment. Sneako dubbed it the 1 Minute Podcast.
Are you a good person?
Yes, I would say so.
Who are you better than?
You? I actually worked in a court for 4 years, and I really enjoyed...
Yeah, so this is one of those problems that I have with these on the street type content, and you saw like there's issues with it like a lot of like on the TV as well, like these political ones where they go out, they spend hours and hours at a time looking for people to talk to, and then they'll cut up the ones that they want to show based on what narrative they want to present, right? And that's the shittiest part. It's like, hey, I have a 10-minute video that I went out for 4 hours to get, and it's like, wow, what else there's stuff, and it's the idea of like in a lot of in the manosphere, it's like, oh, I want to try to make women. Like look bad. I'm not saying that this is what those videos are because I haven't seen them. I'm just saying that this. Oh, I want to make women look bad. Or if it's like a feminist that wants to make men look bad, they'll go around and they'll make men look bad. This is kind of the game that people will play a lot of the times. And I think that there's very few people that actually successfully try to engage in like the proper conversation when they go on the street. They're mostly looking for people that they feel like they can dunk on.
Enjoyed my work because I got to do a lot of
Billy on the Street's funny. It's just comedy. It's just like stupid. There's a little bit of a difference, I'd say, that Billy on the Street versus somebody that's like, you know, trying to have a serious social conversation.
my own like fulfilling things.
Worked in the court?
Yeah, I worked in the court. I was a bailiff for a family court, so I would prepare. Yes, I would prepare kids for like court and like the family cases and stuff like that.
Most fucked up kid you saw?
I'm not supposed to tell you, but like my NDA.
It used to be that people called me an asshole, but now it's all ego this, ego that. Everyone's a psychologist. And before, I never thought of myself as that kind of person, but one day it switched and you just become addicted. And that's what made me a dick for a while. I walked around looking good, feeling good, and people react to that. When internally you start thinking that you're better than everyone else without actually doing anything, people will notice. And I'm scared that if I keep inflating my own ego and burying all my crippling insecurities, my shit's gonna pop.
However, despite the success of this series,
what happened?
along with his more artistic vlogs having cleared a final way out of the insular and toxic commentary sphere, Sneako would never let go of his provocateur tendencies. The closer we come to his current ethics, the clearer it becomes that the shenanigans were present long before any of the nuance or insight that attracted people to his content. He embraced his taste for controversy regardless of consequences, completely independent of if it was even consistent with what he previously stood for.
I saw Cuties last night and it was pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. I went in ready to hate like everybody else. I saw the cover and I got clickbaited. So did you. You got clickbaited. This is one of the movies that's gonna age well.
If you're afraid of watching it and feeling like a pedophile, then maybe you like kids too much, dog. Like, that was never a problem. When I watched it, like...
That's a little weird. I mean, like, I haven't watched it because it just seems kind of gross. I mean, I get that people will talk about, you know, speak to the message that it was trying to promote, which is like over-sexualization of like young people and stuff like that. And I get that. Personally, it just doesn't sound like something I want to watch. Kids twerking sounds a little bit gross. It's not something I really feel like I need to engage in. So yeah, you know, I think that's reasonable. I can understand watching it, getting through that uncomfortableness to try to do like content on it. I get that, but you know, I don't think that somebody's a fucking pedophile because they're like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to watch this fucking crazy shit. I don't think that's how it works, but okay.
I know I don't like kids, so I'm just gonna watch the movie. And the same thing with this guy, Peg10. He was like, oh, it's just so bad. It's just so bad. Low key, a lot of these like people who like just sit alone and like go on their computer all day, they're afraid of thinking that they're pedophiles.
The response from his community was pretty predictable, even on re-uploads of the video. This is when I unsubbed lol. Then when he came back up in the mainstream and I saw how this dude really acts, Lamau, a surprise for sure. Okay, you didn't need to re-upload this one, but I still appreciate you for re-uploading his videos. I literally f***ing love you. Nowadays, it's relatively easy to find whole channels dedicated exclusively to uploading Sneako's breadth of content, with seemingly every comment section rife with lamentations over his fall from grace, and how much better he seemed before his enjoyment of getting embroiled in controversy got the best of him.
I'm surprised you haven't asked us to leave.
Until you do a crime or do something, then I ain't gonna mess with you.
Then why are you taking pictures of us?
Right now, your behavior is to where that you might escalate to do something.
Oh, so it's just precaution. We're not actually breaking anything.
We do that too.
Yeah, that's why we took a picture of you.
Yeah.
Just in case you might, you know, your behavior seems like you might.
Yeah.
Like, he's half black, so he's...
Was this like a prank channel he used to do? Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. He's got to walk on a thin line. So.
Like Sneako himself said, music hits differently when the artist is dead.
They even call me materialistic now as if it's this dirty word. Listen, you can't just drop acid and talk about life under the stars forever. And you gotta get your money up at some point. And don't take this as a rich guy talking.
Is that what he used to do? Drop acid?
Down you. I literally lost half my life savings on a GameStop meme. I'm just like you. Anything that makes you feel good is making somebody...
He lost half his life savings on a GameStop meme? Did he invest that much money into GameStop just for it to fail? Oh my god. Like, I understand people who are trying to like inflate the price, but wow, interesting. Incredible stuff, brother. Jesus.
Rich. Motivational speakers get rich telling you how to get rich. The truth is, all the questions you want answered are within you. Nothing is that complicated.
That's so funny because then he promotes this whole like his own like Hustlers University. It's very what an incredible what incredible hypocrisy.
And life is simple once you learn how to ignore distractions. I was carrying a lot of anger and resentment. I felt like there was something bigger in life that I wasn't able to see. Walking around bitter with my headphones, not listening to anything, just avoiding eye contact and secretly thinking I was better and smarter and nobody understood me.
You see, ultimately, Sneako's desire was simple.
More, and f***ing more. More followers, more money, more houses, more ass, more lips, more plastic.
However, when the lockdown came in early 2020, he was forced to change tactics since the interviews he conducted in the 1 Minute podcast were no longer feasible. Continuing his more artistic and thoughtful vlogs on his main channel, Sneako would upload a video that would change the perception many had of him.
The first one is from Jimmy. He said, "Why'd y'all break up? Why'd you dump me?"
He would cheat on his long-distance girlfriend, breaking apart what appeared to be a relatively stable relationship.
That's sad. I mean, I understand. You know, it's so fucked. You know, that's the problem with long-distance relationships. It's hard to do that if you're not like at the place or mature enough to really handle something like that. which I can understand generally speaking. Still not good, but you know, I guess it is what it is, huh?
Things that happen, kind of kill my vibe.
Yeah. But overall, it's because we can't travel to see each other.
Yeah. Plus that little thing.
What little thing?
That thing that you did.
Tyra said, what did she want from the relationship that you couldn't give her? I guess complete loyalty. If you're gone for like more than 3 weeks, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's time to, you know, I want
3 weeks though. Come on, man.
3 weeks is a long time. 3 weeks is a long time to not see anybody. Like, that's a long time.
Well, I mean, I don't know the context of the relationship. I mean, again, it's like a maturity thing. I get it, but I don't know why he's justifying it. That's a weird thing. I don't know why he's like, yeah, I just couldn't do it. I'm really sorry. It's kind of, I don't know. It comes off as a little weird the way that he's talking about it, but okay.
Bruh, come on, man. You can't wait 2 weeks. I mean, you cannot wait 3 weeks, 1 month.
I did wait 3 weeks. That's what I said. Like, after 3 weeks, it's like, it's time.
You waited only 3 weeks?
After 3 weeks, I'm like, I gotta get.
Damn, see that? I haven't done anything until you came to London. And even after that, I was waiting until you f***ed me over again.
A considerable portion of his fan base expected him to be wiser or more ethical than to cheat on his partner due to his inability to control his sexual urges for 3 weeks. Consequently, the video was very
Was it just like a one month thing where it's like, okay, for this month you can't do it? Yeah, that speaks to his immaturity, sure.
To his audience, though it may be the case that Sneako wanted to be admonished by his fans for his mistakes. He certainly succeeded if that was his intention, as seemingly everyone was disappointed in him. Another big YouTuber, D'Angelo Wallace, would chime in with a simple comment in response to the revelations. He's for the streets.
Yeah, I remember that. I would just take that one in stride, brother. You know what I mean? But okay.
Sneako's response was uncharacteristic for him, considering his renowned outburst that escalated whatever controversy he was in.
Thought his videos were okay until he decided out of nowhere, I don't know why, like, I'm not even one starting this beef. He commented on my last video and got top comment.
It's interesting that, like, I didn't realize that Sneako's entire claim to fame is just constantly hate farming as many people as possible. Did he cheat? It seems like he cheated, yeah. Unless you have some of the information that suggests otherwise. It just seems like his hate farming other person that like has an influence that's like larger than his over and over again. You know, he's doing it to Moist Critical right now. I think he brandished a firearm or something on stream. Somebody had mentioned to try to, you know, threaten him. He's been going on to his streams, you know, watching them on his stream, calling him a pussy, loser, blah, blah, blah. I actually did a video about it. I never bothered to upload it. It's on it's on one of my live streams that I did watch the Boogie video from a while back. You know. But yeah, you know, it's fucking crazy.
Saying he belongs to the streets. I only saw like 10 minutes, I was skipping around and I was getting mad. Not only at his braces and the fact that he looks like a TikTok Lil Tecca. Not even just the fact that he dresses like Ellen. Just his voice, his face. And he didn't wear a mask, and he showed a blade, and he didn't even tell people to wear a mask. And he said no. In a way, I think it's harder to gain 1 million child followers than it is to gain 2 million policemen like D'Angelo Wallace. I think you need to be more inspiring. I think you need to follow trends more. To get like 1 million kids to look up to you is more admirable than like all the mad, fat, gay nerds watching your videos.
Again.
That's really weird.
Policemen like D'Angelo Wallace. I think you need to be more inspiring. I think you need to follow trends more. To get like one.
You need to follow trends more. Didn't he shit on Mr. Beast for being disingenuous and like fucking selling out? That suggests selling out. Follow trends more. Okay, crazy. Where the fuck's the boss? Are you shitting on my fucking pussy right now?
1 million kids to look up to you is more admirable than like all the mad, fat, gay nerds watching your videos.
Again, the reaction to this move from Sneako split in two. Some people found it pathetic that he made a 30-minute long video response to a 4-word comment from D'Angelo. Others found it not only humorous, but very effective at ridiculing its target. The lack of response from Wallace after Sneako's video only cemented in the public view that whatever negative reaction Sneako might have had from reading his comments, D'Angelo's reaction to the response was probably worse. Seeking to breathe new life into his career, as growth slumped and times got rough during lockdowns, Sneako would use his second channel, Sneako, for live streams and highlights.
What country is the Queen of England from? Originally.
I definitely don't know.
No, give me your best guess. I guess a country.
Texas.
While the channel always saw some level of traction, it wouldn't be until the rise of a particular Tate Shinkai master, Camgirl Pimp, and Warrior for Allah that Sneako would find mainstream notoriety. Andrew Tate needs no introduction, and I already did a video on him, so watch that to catch up on your Turkey Tom extended universe lore. But to summarize for those who don't know, while regular YouTube remained steady in its turn towards less offensive content, YouTube Shorts did the opposite, becoming rife with clips from podcasts Andrew Tate had been on. In these clips, he said all kinds of politically incorrect.
Yeah, man, I need people to just make a bunch of clips of my channel on YouTube Shorts, dude. Go for it. Boom, 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 boom. Make it go. Raise the awareness, guys. Go put some of the really based things that I say out of context. So I don't do that. Well, I mean, you put up whatever you like. I don't know, but you know, hey, we'll get there. This is our growth year, dude. I'm fucking on. I'm on point this year, bro. I'm being serious. Fucking post the goddamn group. There we go.
Correct things, which would prove quite successful on the platform. As his popularity grew exponentially, Sneako would take notice, often reacting to his streams and becoming increasingly enamored with the worldview Tate espoused everywhere he went.
The Tates, their information on their podcast have motivated me more than anything else I've ever heard on the internet. Wow. I turned my life around since I started listening to them. I've only been streaming for 3 months. And
what's changed in his life? What actually changed in his life that he's felt like his life turned around? Okay.
I was maybe 2 or 3 weeks into streaming. You could see it the first time
I did watch Andrew Callahan's HBO. Are you kidding? Are these people so fucking slow that they can't come and play the game? Okay, whatever. It's just annoying.
Reacted to them. I was like, what are these guys doing wearing these shirts and talking so loud? And I peeped the confidence. I peeped the
confidence.
The entertainment value they were adding. And I started listening. Because like I said, you have 2 options, get triggered or listen up.
Since Sneako's beliefs already leaned in a similar direction, it wasn't so difficult for him to see which way the wind was blowing and hop on the hype train.
True.
Just like a rising tide raises all ships, the unprecedented popularity of masculinity-oriented content ballooned Sneako's content along with Tate's. He would very enthusiastically.
Yeah, it was mostly what ballooned it is, because like having a positive message for young men isn't going to boost your shit like too crazy. It's the anti-woman shit, you know, because if there was like, yeah, I'm a male advocate, blah blah, that would be great. What an awesome thing. But a lot of it is founded on like dunking on women because that's fucking based. So, well, it's the unfortunate reality.
Take Tate's teachings to heart, which earned him a lot of clout with Andrew's audience. However, what Sneako wasn't ready for was the scrutiny that was to follow. It turns out that people in the red pill space are much more rigorous than they come off as. With nearly a decade's worth of chicanery to comb through, it was more likely that the skeletons in his closet would contradict the persona he had come to adopt.
Yeah.
Have you ever worn or fantasized about wearing clothes of another sex? I mean, I've worn high heels before.
I mean, I've worn them as like a joke, but I've never fantasized about wearing clothes, you know? Like I did it as like a TikTok joke sometimes, like once or twice, because it was a tee-hee funny to see a big fat fucking guy in, you know, some weird shit. Well,
chat, bro, come on, bro. Does that make me gay if I put on some high heels? Have you ever looked at a person of the same sex and felt attracted in a sexual way?
Well, I guess sex maybe, if you're gonna be technical about it from a biological perspective. There's some trans women I think are pretty cute, but gender, no. I don't think I've ever looked at a guy and gone like, yeah, you know. For the most part, maybe just some femboys secretly on the internet. I'll go, wow, but I pretend that they're girls, so you know what I mean? Because I'm not gay. I'm not gay, dude.
Gonna say, chat, we're being honest. We're being honest. It's happened. Your friends decided to go party at a gay bar. I've been to gay bars, chat. To be honest, no, fake flirting doesn't count. Fake flirting doesn't count. I feel awkward about it. If there were no people left in the world except for someone of the same sex, you would fall into despair after you would never have a sexual partner again.
I feel like if there's like only one dude you could fuck, you probably inevitably fuck them at some point, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I would, honestly. I'd like to think I would because I'm horny, but like I feel like I probably wouldn't because I just wouldn't be able to do it. Fuck a rock or something, I don't know.
Bro, chat, let's be honest though.
So after doing some digging, I very unfortunately found photos of Sneako stroking his penis in front of what I can only assume is a male photographer. Now to me, these look like professional photos. There's obviously lighting involved, and it's very apparent his penis is in his hand. I can't show it on YouTube, but I'll post it on my Twitter. Given the context of Sneako saying that gay men...
Yes, he did. I didn't like that. Again, he was pissed because Sneako, like, you know, he falsely accused him of threatening to assault a girlfriend, which was really shitty. And then like he got like a bunch of YouTubers to be against him. So I understand his frustration, but I didn't like this.
Run the modeling industry, you can only assume that a gay man is taking the photos, but we don't know that for a fact. So Sneako, please prove me wrong. Prove this isn't a man's ass, and prove these photos were not taken by a gay man.
Ironically, the ultimate result of Sneako's attempts to be his own man, at the behest of everything else, and to never submit to someone else's way of doing things, led him to be in the shadow of Andrew Tate.
Gentlemen, we've had success with phase 1.
That's crazy. Is this disrespectful? Would you tolerate this?
What? Expensive cars, money, classic Tate W, and most importantly, women. We do be getting them bitches though. Classic Tate W, man.
I've never said classic Tate W.
When he noticed this was happening, Sneako would attempt to set himself apart from Tate. How did he do this? Well, instead of pimping random women online for money, Sneako let another guy bang his girlfriend for free.
I don't know if that was the motivation for him to do that, but Jesus Christ.
Listen. The arrangements of our open relationships, like, I can go and, like, once in a while use a condom and, like, you know, one night stands, whatever.
You said something to the nature of whatever happens, happens. What?
Yeah, so we go in there with the mentality that whatever happens inside that party just stays at the party. Like, yeah. And so I saw her. I've seen her f other men, and it's just like that.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I saw it, like,
Oh, no,
like literally right.
I can't be an open
Like it's like she's moaning pretty loud. Like, I don't know, like, how much you. I didn't expect you to be
take that loud. This nigga let his girl to get fucked. So what's this? And he's watching.
Let me. If I'm able to go and have one night stands and have an open relationship, and she can only go on dates, this is the place where she can exercise the open relationship. Like, it should be fair that she can take other if I'm fucking another pussy. Like,
equality.
That's
I guess, sure. I mean, I don't. Okay, yeah, do you, brother? Personally, I think you should just close it off. But okay.
Balance. And
I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people nowadays are using like open relationships to subsidize their unhappiness in their relationship. You know, I feel like I was poly and open for so long, and like being my wife, it made me realize I didn't want that, even though I thought I always wanted it. Like, it's an issue where I was like, you know, too, like, I don't know. I guess I didn't. I guess it was like an issue where like I didn't want to be like my father in some capacity. So I was like, I can never, you know, I would be very quick, or once I committed, I would stay committed as like an overcorrection. You know, and instead of being like, you know what, I'm not happy, let me disconnect myself from this individual, you know, and it's something that you definitely do not want to engage in because it can make you very unhappy.
I'm getting like anxious, like I don't want to do this, and so we go alone in the bathroom, and she's like helping me out, like calming me down, and then we start doing our thing in the bathroom, and then the door's open, people come and start watching. This other couple comes in, hold on. And so while I'm like hitting it from the back, he lays down on the floor and starts licking her. But think about like the logistics of that.
He's that close.
Think about the logistics. Like, his head is like under, is like 6 inches, like his eyebrows are like tickling the bottom, and I have to like move, like go like that so I don't make contact because his eyebrows are like between both legs. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're standing up, I'm hitting from the back, and then he goes underneath. So then we go into the room, like her and the couple, like we're like, all right, let's switch. So I got this girl on top of me, and she's, I don't know, yo, I'm just not, and my girl's right here, and she's like, and I'm like, oh, yo, I'm like feeling traumatic thoughts, like seeing her with another person. It's a lot. But I think it's something everybody should do just to test.
Anybody at these parties?
No.
Tweets from 2021 that resurfaced during this time also don't help Sneako's position. What does it mean when your girlfriend tells another man in front of you, I'm single, and then has sex with him? One may expect...
Oh, wow. Sorry. I was not expecting that. Holy fuck. Wait, she did that? She said that she was single in front of him? No way. That's fucking insane, brother. Holy fuck, dude. That's nuts. Wow. Jesus.
That this kind of story breaking about one of the most popular people in the red pill space would be a bombshell. But, believe it or not, people kind of didn't care. His fans seemingly found some way to justify what happened, rather than criticize Sneako for constantly making fun of promiscuous women while engaging in genuine hypergamy. Later on, when Sneako would involve himself in yet another internet beef with fellow YouTuber and ex-collaborator Brandon Buckingham, it would be brought up.
I used to be a fan of Sneako, way back before he cosplayed as an alpha male. He used to make philosophical videos about life, people, society, and I really enjoyed them. I thought they were well put together, well edited, and I respected him. However, somewhere along the line, things went south for our little alpha male. Clouded by the pursuit of fame, money, and women, he turned into his shadow self, or perhaps who he's been this entire time. Fast forward to April of 2021, I meet Sneako for the first time in Las Vegas at Steezy Kane's birthday party, and my initial reaction was shock. I felt he was an egomaniac that viewed himself as better than everyone. You could tell he thought he was the coolest guy around, and I remember our first interaction vividly. He treated me like some fanboy piece of shit because I was giving him props about his videos.
Like Nico's previous conflicts, this one would also be born from a previously friendly relationship. Despite their collaborations being too few and far between to consider them friends, Brandon certainly had good feelings about Sneako.
He's hopping into frame, talking into my mic, and being a lot cooler than when we first met. I'm like, shit, maybe this guy's alright. We spent a few hours hanging out, and it made me think, maybe I had the wrong idea. I imagine him like admiring his shit in the toilet, but, you know, that's all speculation.
Hey, listen, I've been there before. Sometimes you can't help but look at that beautiful beast after you drop it in the fucking toilet and go, wow, incredible.
I really think that. I think he does that. And when I was out at dinner with Sneako and his girlfriend in New York, she was flirting with everyone very hard, making it entirely apparent she was fair game and was seemingly down to hook up, but none of us reciprocated this behavior. We didn't flirt back.
That's incredible. This is one of the things, man. If you're going to engage in like an open relationship or something like that, there's a few things that are off the table. One of those is hitting on somebody like while you're with your primary partner, you know, even really talking to anybody else on like the phone or something while you're with the primary partner, shit like that. Also disrespecting your primary partner behind their back and shit. You know what I mean? Unless they weren't really into each other, which is possible, which just kind of seems like maybe she wasn't necessarily into him, and you know, he stayed too long, and I don't know, they should have just broke up. I don't know, but
we didn't give her any vibes.
After 9 months, in June 2022, Buckingham would sign with Happy Punch, a YouTube boxing event headed by none other than Keemstar. Seeking to find competitors for the event, Brandon would ask Sneako whether or not he'd be up to box.
So Keemstar doesn't want to sign Sneako to box, and mind you, I had told Sneako that I could try to get him signed to fight me or to fight another opponent. I was going to try to help him get signed regardless of my benefit. Sneako ends up messaging me saying something like, actually, he doesn't really want to box. So I reply, and I quote, I got you. I hope it didn't rub you the wrong way or anything. I just thought you'd be a legitimate good opponent that I'd respect. Much love, Sneako. He responded to me saying that by saying, why you on my dick?
However, Brandon did not take the slight against him well.
I reached out to clarify I didn't disrespect him by challenging him to a fight, and he called me a dick rider in response. And then I sat back, thought about it for a second. I was thinking, what a pompous little f***er. Here I am trying to help him, and he spits in my face and treats me like a fanboy just because I was showing him respect and clarifying our relationship.
Up until this point, the people who Sneako clashed with were either as petty as he was, didn't care, or didn't know how to react when attacked. This time it was different. The fight hadn't happened, but the victory of this exchange was obviously Brandon's. It could be said that this was the first time Sneako took a massive public L, as the kids would say. However, Nico didn't know when to stop. A twist that is,
as the kids would say, brother,
becoming increasingly unsurprising in this story.
See, if he would have stopped at this point, he had me beat. I was the asshole at this point. He could have ran with the fact that it was just a joke that I misinterpreted. He was winning at this point. So I wake up from a little power nap to a FaceTime, and as I answer, I'm caught off guard because I see Sneako is pointing a camera at me and I'm on stream.
Yo, what up, Brandon? Yo, so I was talking to my chat about what happened. There's no beef, bro. I don't care. Good luck in the fight and everything. What do you want to say?
I was hella tight. I thought like we had some weird animosity beef. I guess I just misread what you said.
You're a comedian, bro. How the f did you not think that I was telling a joke?
Well, because first of all, I haven't seen you or talk. I haven't talked to you in like 10 months, right? Like we don't really keep up with each other like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like that same energy of like supporting you and with you just flipped to the other side.
Yeah, just like, don't do that again. Don't do that again. You know what I'm saying? He's saying oh, I love you.
What the fuck? What a weird performance. Hey, there's no animosity. Don't do that again. It's like weird, bro. What the fuck?
Like video, hey, why you want my get off my
like this weird, like it's so weird that he brought him in and he played this like nice guy act to try to catch him off guard, and then he's like, yeah, now I'm gonna tough guy you, and it's like that's a jarring experience. How do you react to that? Be like, oh, okay, like it's just a performative fucking bullshit.
Because it makes me feel uncomfortable when people give me too many compliments.
Clarifying someone isn't upset that you challenge them to a boxing match is completely reasonable, but he has to make up this whole story about him trying not to big bro me after I fanboyed out so he can come out as this humble, logical good guy when that is a blatant lie. And if he's watching this, then unblock me, screenshot the fucking DMs, and show him yourself. You lied.
The stream, dubbed Making an Example Out of YouTubers, is pretty much exactly what the title suggests, humiliating those he thinks have wronged him in front of his entire audience. Instead of taking the Brandon Buckingham situation as an opportunity to learn that reckless hostility isn't the appropriate way to act when you think someone might have slighted you, he decided to double down and go kamikaze.
The other YouTuber I want to make an example out of is Brandon Buckingham.
Ooh.
He's an up-and-coming YouTuber. He was a fan. He got tight, had a gay joke, and then said exactly the same shit that Lamza said. He kept asking me to get into a fight, and I'm like, man, I don't really feel like it. And I said, like, bro, I don't feel like doing it. And then he said something like, yo, I've been watching the streams, keep it up, keep doing what you're doing. I love your videos and everything. And I'm like, hey, why you on my...
Considering the drama about to explode between Buckingham and Sneako, this description of Buckingham seems relatively light. However, we're still in the calm before the storm.
Yeah, this part's fucked, bro. I'm sitting here, I'm like, that's not what the video had. And he didn't have all that. And I realized he edited that in there. That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to watch Nico too. I was really into like his whole like philosophical, super edited type of video.
Who is that? Is that?
But the more I watch Nico, the more I realize like something's off about him.
Dude, you know you can't post this, right?
Yeah, I know.
Nico's livestream channel, Sneako, would quickly grow to become the lifeblood of his online popularity. At his peak, he managed to gain over 117,000 subscribers in one single week. This marked a definitive move away from the cool, calm, and collected, even if opinionated Sneako from what now seems to be a distant past.
Wow, this video is... Was that Etika? I didn't want to say that's Etika, and then if it's not, then I'm racist. You know what I mean? That's why I didn't say Etika, but it looked... I didn't want to be racist, sorry. This crazy with this video. Like, it's a lot of revealing shit here, man. Like, that I didn't know about. There's a lot... This video is showing that Sneako is an incredible fucking grifter who has changed his entire perspective in relationship with this content. It suggests to me that, like, when he was saying, like, oh, like the sellout argument, that it was never about the sellout. It was just about a way to, like, shame the other person. It wasn't actually, like, a moral, philosophical thing. Like, even if I disagree with if Mr. Beast selling out in that moment, if Sneako actually believed it and he held to that ideology, then I'd be like, okay, sure, at least you're morally consistent. But he's not. It's like he's getting popularity in a thing, so he's leaning into that thing as much as possible. It seems like he's always just wanted to be popular.
Into a Sneako that was extremely online and extremely offensive.
Do we want to look back at ancient Greece? You know, small penises used to be a symbol of masculinity back then.
That's true. Weird.
Yeah, they were also having gay butts in Greece.
That's also true.
That's irrelevant to what I just said.
With this newfound patent for pushing the button...
I don't know. I don't know the context of that, but that's funny. Okay.
Of internet outrage culture, it seems Sneako was rudderless. Not at all.
You don't think it was Etika? Well, rest in peace, Etika, and I'm fucking racist. Sorry, guys. God damn it. Oh, fuck.
Open to reconsider any of the actions he was becoming widely disliked for.
I should watch an Etika documentary. Yeah, actually, that sounds really interesting. That's a good watch. I didn't know too much about the guy. You know, I wasn't on YouTube when he was like on YouTube, so it'd be interesting. You know.
For a man seeking to position himself as being based in reality, he managed to undo that image in a single stream.
Oh, is that what base means?
You want to talk a little bit about the drama that's going on with you and Sneako?
Yeah, Sneako made up fake R-word accusations. He said word for word that I said, I'm going to R-word your girlfriend.
And look, this isn't up for debate because Brandon did not say that. Like, you know, this has already been debunked.
Fact, I didn't say that.
Yo, you know who's L Mans?
Oh,
Brandon Buckingham.
Yeah.
That guy sucks. I'm gonna, bro, literally said, I'm gonna R-word your girlfriend. Yeah. Literally said that. This dude said he is going to R-word my girlfriend. Bro, nothing warrants saying I'm gonna R-word your girlfriend.
As far as insulting people or saying mean things about them online, I'm personally game for most of it, honestly. However, it's a very different story when you are accusing someone of... It should be universally recognized that false accusations of that nature are forbidden, even in environments that people call toxic.
She doesn't respect them. They would look at my girlfriend and...
Yeah, I agree with that, for sure. It's a very serious topic. Same thing with like grooming accusations and stuff like that, for sure. You need to treat that a little more seriously.
Fold, real talk. Like, if I'm being real...
Well, a lot more seriously.
Hey, bro, I was looking at your girl, and she was looking at me, and I did think about folding her over something, consensually, of course, but I didn't. You know who did, though? A bunch of weird dudes right in front of you.
But it was far too late for settling any of these disputes peacefully, as Sneako had opened Pandora's box, sullying his own image, live, in an attempt to smear fellow creators who otherwise would have held no animosity against him. Honestly, most of these situations speak for themselves. It's not necessarily that Sneako was just wrong in every instance, but the attitude with which he approached seemingly every problem with someone else was extremely counterproductive and petty.
So what exactly happened here? What made you make up the replies? Is that sticking to funny in your eyes? Is that sticking to truth? This fucking guy's always talking about truth. I mean, it's so weird to make up a accusation on another
Muscle
man.
Bill
If he had
super
his way...
chatted $4.99. As always, keep being large and in charge.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
2023 is the year of the gut.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, muscle pilled. I do. I do, my brother in Christ. I do. I do. Thank you, brother. This man is large. Thank you, brother. Hopefully you're doing well, man.
And people believed what he said. Think about it. If those accusations were taken as fact, people would say, oh, don't hang out with Brandon Buckingham. He threatened to rape a woman.
It also proved very hard for Sneako, who, at this point, was a fledgling in the pro-masculinity online community, to reconcile his more eccentric proclivities with what was held as common sense by everyone else. Quickly, his position as the carrier of Andrew Tate's legacy was severely undermined.
But I'm telling you, Chad, the reason I'm talking about this is because internet has diluted a lot of the basic respect that we need to have as people.
Yes, and Sneako is a glaring example of that. When he comes on, he just screams, he goes, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, of course. Like, he is the defining individual who is the most disrespectful. He's as disrespectful as possible. So it's completely ironic that he's saying something like that.
A lot of people need to step outside and realize what they're saying.
You should.
And because of YouTube, because of this, it's all content.
After the termination of Andrew Tate and his brother,
it's so weird. What a projection.
From seemingly every social media platform in 2022, the community that had developed around their cult of personality was extremely taken aback as they looked for someone else to continue promoting their ideas.
Sneako, young man, if I disappear, I'm passing the torch to you. Keep spreading the message. While it's still relevant to talk about Andrew Tate, I appreciate
Look at his face.
you. Torch to you. Keep spreading the message. While it's still relevant to
God, it's like a kid that went to Chuck E. Cheese for the first time. Incredible. What the fuck? In case I disappear, it's one of those things where like they feed into the concept like they might get taken out by there's a narrative against them. The CIA might take them out, remove them from the public eye. So if I get taken out, I'm passing the torch on to you, Sneako. Wow. Holy fuck. Honestly, the only thing that I've ever seen that was as cringe. That's literally theater level cringe, like theater kid level cringe, honestly, the way that they talked about that.
to talk about Andrew Tate. I appreciate you showing this.
Sneako saw this as an opportunity, not just to profit off of their loyalty to the Tate brothers, but to inherit a cult of personality of his own, which would overlook any and all of his glaring character flaws. Of course, Sneako's old audience would be very distraught by how quickly he jumped on this particular bandwagon, literally became what he despised. Nobody said Sneako was the smartest or most morally correct guy, but the first thing he said here is true. At least he spoke the truth once, instead of always lying. Lol. Dude, it's Sneako. No matter what, we need to keep riding him. Real homie shit. Sneako may have formally passed the torch, but it was evidence that giving such responsibility to the young creator was basically feeding an already raging fire. Over the years, it was always hinted that Nico had a tendency towards egomania, and now he had the mother of all followings at his fingertips. It seemed pretty clear to all of those around that Sneako was beginning to step over boundaries that figures like Tate would never have even contemplated. The increasing amount of spats that Sneako would find himself involved in would reach some of the—
That's actually true, yeah. You don't see Andrew Tate like intentionally trying to call out other creators just to try to drum up controversy. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to call out a creator, it's another thing to like do it just for just to create drama. You know, that's what all it is.
Biggest creators on the platform, notably KSI.
This is the thing, it's a personal message to you, KSI. I had no problem with you. I don't fucking know you. I don't watch your bullshit YouTube channel. But when I get banned, you want to go from a fan to just instantly cowering out to the Matrix. That makes you a hypocrite. There's nothing more disgusting in the world than a male hypocrite. Ethan's a hypocrite.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Oh, Ethan.
As disgusting as are you. You don't even stick by your guns. You don't even, no, he doesn't even stick by his fucking guns. He doesn't even say,
you know, we haven't seen Ethan Klein in a while. What's this guy up to?
You know what? Andrew was all right. He said some funny things. He shouldn't have got banned. At least Jake Paul was man enough to say stand up for fucking free speech.
Damn,
if you ever fought Jake, he would smash your fucking face.
He'd fucking smoke you.
And if you want to get smoked twice, I'll fucking smoke you myself. You are full of shit. You're a fucking hypocrite.
Whoa,
the shit you've said in the past is worse than anything I've ever fucking said, and you know it. You want to talk about having a boxing match? You're
like
3 rounds boxing against some nobody. I will take you 12 rounds and I will break every bone in your fucking face. And you know it. Either before or after.
Is that allowed to break everybody's big bone in the face? No, I feel like they have like the referee would probably stop it because I feel like that would hurt and you'd get like knocked out. No. But yeah, fuck, dude, scary
Jake's
stuff.
done with you. You're a fucking hypocrite as well. Fucking dork. KSI.
Dork, dude.
KSI would respond with the following. Crying from outside of the club. Jake Paul and you can get it soon.
I'm sorry.
I want all.
It's a little funny. Crying from outside the club. It's a little funny. It's a goofy little silly thing, but it gave me a little chuckle. Oh my lord.
The smoke.
It's Sneako, bro. Literally, he is the son of Andrew Tate. Cried when Andrew Tate was upset. He's like, Daddy,
are you upset? Oh my god.
There is something about this guy though that comes off as super disingenuous. I will say. I don't remember what it was, but he just fucking rubs me the wrong way, dude. I don't know. Maybe what is it? What do you think it is? There's something that comes off as like disingenuous about the guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just racist. Maybe that's the problem.
KSI upset you. Oh, Daddy Tate.
Sneako would quickly jump to Tate's defense, deriding KSI for celebrating Tate's ban. I would join your stream, but Andrew Tate owns you. Sorry, W Tate. W Convo. Get your clout up and one day I'll join. You're lucky that I ain't got time for this. No principles or character. Everything is about clout to these people. If you're such a top G.
Well, I mean, that's first of all, yes, to Sneako. Also, this KSI guy constantly engaging in the back and forth. Just like, why? Like, say what you have to say and then move on. You know what I mean?
If you're such an alpha like your daddy Tate, why not test that alpha? Let us have a little spar and see how manly you really are in person. You can talk that talk behind a screen, but in the real world, you'll act different, I'm sure. Keep feeding bullshit to your audience. Remember, I've been doing this way longer than you have. But, as I can see, you're truly just a man with zero values. Anyone over to be the main guy at the top of the ladder. Demeaning to women.
That's a compliment, because I don't think Sneako's a man at all. He's a cosplayer. He's cosplaying as what he thinks a man's supposed to be. That's why he has trouble finding actual relationships. Instead of hating women after this woman like destroyed him by wanting to fuck other guys in front of him, What he should have done was it reflected inward and learned to set up positive boundaries instead of like crying about how women are all terrible people because he got fucking cucked one time because he wasn't strong enough to set a boundary that he didn't want to be cucked and break up with the person.
Women, demeaning to Islam, demeaning to
Hell
people
yeah,
in their
dude.
way.
M-pilled guy. Is that muscle pilled? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Muscle pilled. Woo! Very based, dude. Very based. That's my favorite muscular content creator is muscle pilled, dude. I keep getting your YouTube. What the fuck am I saying? I'm like an old boomer. I keep getting your Instagram stuff. I keep seeing it. I should start liking it. I'll start liking it more, dude. Very pogger, brother.
Wait for your bubble. Your truth is a lie. You're a trend that's dying. Enjoy it for now.
And now you sold out. Now you got a drink that's like poisonous. Prime is just Gatorade garbage. You promote OnlyFans to a 12-year-old audience. You can't even debunk what I'm saying. I'm calling you out for being a fucking hypocrite.
Crazy.
For saying, thank God Andrew Tate got banned, when you almost got banned for making jokes that went too far according to the woke mob. So I'm pointing out the fact that you're a simp for the woke mob now. You don't want to get canceled again. Instead of addressing that fact, you got to go, Andrew Tate writer.
He is the son of Andrew Tate. Cried with Andrew Tate.
See, this is what they all say. This is what every single hater says. They say, I'm a Andrew Tate writer. They talk about the swinger party from a year ago. They talk about the fact that I used to have an open relationship. They say that I'm alpha male. They say I'm a fake alpha male. They say I'm fake red pill. They say I'm a liar grifter.
Yeah, all those things are true though. So that's why people say them. You know, that's like if somebody was like, "Papa got so fat." Like, no kidding, huh? Like, obviously, yeah. So like, I'm fat as fuck. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, oh, Papa gets fat. Oh shit. Papa gut's so handsome. Like, yeah, duh. You're something I don't know. Am I right, guys?
And yeah, bro, you can beat me in a fight. You box long, you can beat me in a fight. So I can't.
First time you're watching live. How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Really call you like I want to because you've sold out and because you're afraid of getting canceled.
Where the fuck the plague bats come from?
But you're afraid of a debate. You're afraid of conversation. You will get exposed.
Increasingly,
well, there's really no point in having a conversation with Sneako because he doesn't know how to have one. He's a child that just screams and like goes. He literally just goes. Like this is the thing is there's no point. I think a conversation with people that you disagree with can be incredibly powerful and productive, especially if you want to try to drive your point to their audience. But Sneako's not there for a reasonable conversation with anybody. He's just there to like scream like a child. So there's no reason to bother. He's not there for a serious conversation. He's there to embarrass you and himself at the same time. That's really all it is. But his audience think that him embarrassing himself is somehow like super fucking cool and based. So yeah, man, like there's no point. It's a non-productive thing. So.
Sneako was finding himself under heavy scrutiny for his increasingly radical comments. Some would say he was simply speaking the truth in an off-the-cuff or blunt manner, as perhaps was his intention. But other people, typically those with more pull in mainstream YouTube than Sneako supporters, believed he was using his platform to spread dangerous ideas, whatever they consider them to be.
I know you want me to call you a toxic, problematic
Beard,
incel, but I'm not going to call you any of those things. I'm going to call you stupid. You are stupid and you are promoting dangerous, dumb ideas that aren't based in reality that make life worse for everyone.
I mean, he's based. I mean, Brian Beard. That's a based Ryan Beard moment, honestly. Like, let's be fucking real. He's speaking absolute fucking factorials in that sentence.
And in an apocalyptic world where there's only one woman left, guess what he would do to her?
But if they were the last two, bro, you are getting fucked. There's no option about it. Whether you want to or not, you're getting fucked. If there's two people, there's no consent, there's no police. Are you kidding me? It's happening.
Bro, that sounded so evil, bro.
So I've been making content about you. It's like
that's me, dude.
Viewing your content.
It's not goofy. It's not funny. Like at least it should be funny. Like you're really boring to listen to. Like everybody in here is laughing at you. Like, your voice is annoying. Like at bottom line, like that's
screaming.
Wait, do you really think my
people listen up?
Content you made. You have made jokes about eyelashes like 500 times.
And you keep watching.
I personally think I have a nice voice. Okay, I think that's the only thing that's redeemable about me.
And you keep watching it, and I've never seen your videos. And I never will. But you know my jokes, that's how much you watch my bro. That's embarrassing.
We're used to taking the blue pill. We're not used to taking the red pill. And when you swallow one pill, it feels good.
Yeah, that was pretty much before he decided to run away because he didn't really want to talk to me. That was when we were having a really weird conversation about how China is somehow better, because they don't have a TikTok problem to the same degree we do, which is a benefit of China. They highly regulate their shit, but then also it speaks to the lack of freedom of speech. But we never really got to have that talk because they just started like farting and shitting and left. So
it's a blue pill.
It feels good.
Apologizing is a blue pill. So then why did you apologize? Because you felt bad?
Yeah, I left, bro. How many times I said I genuinely felt, but you said you're not listening, Sneako.
I'm listening.
No, you're not listening. Sneako, you already have what you want to say in your mind, and you literally said this in your video. I've literally heard you say this clip. You say you don't listen to what people say. You go on and assume what they're gonna say, bro. You know how many clips on TikToks I've seen where you assume what the girl was gonna say, but then she said something different. You're like, oh shit, I was not expecting that.
All of these issues were compounded by Sneako's association with far-right political commentator Nick Fuentes.
There is something baked into the cake in Judaism, which affects how they're brokering these kinds of contracts with entertainers like Ye.
The people who were already worried that Sneako's social media machine might become a dangerous trash fire.
It's funny that like Nick Fuentes is pretending to care about Jewish people, like taking advantage of Kanye West or something, when he like literally is just taking advantage of Kanye West to try to use him as a vehicle to spread his like dangerous, toxic, and dumb fucking ideas.
We're now seeing that things might have been worse than they expected. The overall careless attitude he had about what kinds of things he exposed his fanbase to alerted those who already thought he didn't deserve a platform with such a young and impressionable audience. As a consequence, people began wondering how they could get him kicked out by any means necessary.
What's up, Cozy? 07's in the chat. Shout out to all the Kuipers, man. I stayed up. Nick!
There we are. Hey. Hey! I'm good. How are you doing?
Nick, you're getting on my ass right now. I appreciate the free speech and everything, but you can't drop the N-word. You can't do that anymore on the stream.
I just said it one time.
You really sad about the Queen dying? 100%, bro. You don't think the kids and like fucking each other's cousins? You don't think the Queen?
Oh no, Sneako's going off way more like on the conspiracy side, I think, than like where Tate is. Andrew Tate might be marketing red pill stuff that I think is kind of okay, but people like Sneako are the result of reading it the wrong way.
The heat would get so intense that clips from live streams featuring Sneako, Fuentes, and Destiny would be played in front of the United States Senate during a hearing on social media's effects on national security.
I want to show you something big.
Yeah, it's funny because it happened because Nick Fuentes was there, nothing else, and Sneako decided it was because he was there. That was the funny part. Like that's how self-important he is. Like he thinks that he's relevant. Like I was joking about being in some of these clips in this video. The reason is because other people were in the clips, like Ryan Beard. Like that's really the reality of the situation. It's fun to have like a silly little teehee meme here or there, but you need to understand like your actual self-importance. Nick Fuentes is an actual white supremacist, neo-Nazi piece of shit that advocates that black and Hispanic people are biologically inferior to white people, that they're less intelligent, and he's a genuine piece of shit that promotes a conspiracy theory that's like anti-Jewish because there's some kind of Jewish cabal. Like he's a scum fucking loser that frankly people shouldn't even associate with in any capacity, because there's nothing intelligent that he has to say. He literally just trolls his way into different spaces, and that's how he markets himself. That's what they were looking at. They were looking at him, right? Because Destiny didn't get banned. I think Abba was there. He didn't get banned. I think Gideon was there. He didn't get banned. So nothing to do. There's nothing to do. It had nothing to do with Sneako, but it just made him feel like, oh my god, I'm so important, because he thinks that he's so important and he's not. And he'd know that he wasn't important if he realized like that's why his ex wanted to fuck other guys in front of him, because he was so unimportant, probably so bad in bed that she felt the need to try to get it from someone else. So that's just the reality, brother.
Stream in the Senate. They play my stream in the Senate. They're watching this stream right now. There's government officials watching. Let me show you.
They played Destiny stream in the Senate. Let's be clear here.
Crazy. They played it in the fucking Senate.
To limit the spread of the hateful, dangerous, and extremist content that has motivated.
He said hateful, dangerous, and extremist content that has motivated
real world.
And Sneako knows that he's lying because he edits this clip to make it, to remove some of the context of it. So
real world violence. He said something about the Jewish religion. Said something about Judaism, and I went,
he promoted an anti-Jewish conspiracy theory. What do you say? He said something about Jewish people. Like this is the thing, is like Sneako knows that he's not important. I think he just likes to pretend that he is, because he knows that he had nothing to do with that.
Joking.
However, things soon came to a head when Sneako got in a bit of a disagreement with YouTuber Chad, known for her TikTok commentary series, A Twinge of Cringe.
This feminist garbage hides the fact that she's attracted to that guy making the videos. It is what it is. Girls, you could vouch for it. You know it's true. She would. You could tell by the way she's talking that she hasn't been properly in a long time. It's been a while. So she's on the internet making this garbage video, promoting all this feminist garbage to your lonely girls in the comment section. What you really need, Chad, is some yeah, shut up with your feminism. Yeah, come here. That's what you need. And she's gonna go,
And ultimately, this is like why it was banned. Like I defended it in a little bit. I said I don't think this is simulated sexual assault, like people like Nick is not green were asserting. Although by his logic of Brandon Buckingham, you know, threatening to assault his girlfriend or whatever, I guess the bar, that's how low the bar is. I guess by Sneako's logic, it actually is simulated sexual assault. But yeah, what the hell was I saying? Sorry. But there's still like sexual harassment, bro. And them getting banned is completely justifiable. Again, if you went into the real world, what Sneako pretends to talk about, like as if he knows how the real world is, they'd fire you from any job that you got into if you ever like talked about an employee like that. Or at the very least, you'd be severely penalized. I mean, that's just a fact of the matter.
That's what you need. You need some sense back into you.
If there's one thing that's more powerful and petty than the US government, it's the audience of TikTok girls. The outcry that would follow this outburst would only further reduce the amount
Well, let's not pretend that there was a massive outcry following that. There wasn't. This happened weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Well, there was an outcry from Nick is not green, but it happened a while later, and then it kind of died down, and then it re-sparked itself. So yeah, I guess it did actually. There was an outcry, but it took a while. It was after he did like a bunch of crazy bullshit that it really fucking like triggered up.
Time Sneako had left on mainstream platforms before he, too, was inevitably ejected. Just like Tate before him, he was aware that he was posting on borrowed time, so he decided to up the ante and engage in even more self-destructive antics. YouTubers like Nick Green would go as far as to break YouTube's terms of service to advocate for the mass flagging of Sneako's accounts to get him deplatformed.
Sneako is harassing a female content creator, telling her that the reason why she's so upset is because she hasn't had sex in a while, and then he proceeds to aggressively simulate a sexual assault on Chad in his live stream in front of thousands of people.
Yeah, I don't think that was sexual assault. It was definitely an aggressive sex, but you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's still sexual harassment.
Watch this video and you also believe that Sneako should be banned from YouTube, you can go to his channel pages, click about, and then click the flag icon on the right side of the page and report the user.
The aforementioned Brandon Buckingham would even get involved, tweeting, "The fact that Sneako, after knowingly falsely accusing me of making threats, is about to get banned from YouTube for making threats is one of the most ironic turn of events I've ever had the pleasure of being involved in.
Funny.
Truly divine. Nick Green's content is unwatchable and his personality is unbearable. I also do not support the cancel culture deplatforming bullshit, but after getting falsely accused of rape by the guy, it's hard not to sit back and laugh at all of this.
In your crusade to become a free thinker who only speaks the truth, you've become an absolute f***ing idiot. I don't care if you're toxic and problematic. I care about people's safety, and the ideas that you are spreading on your channel directly lead to people being less safe."
Sneako's termination was really a long time coming. Did he deserve it? I would say no, but was it inevitable? Yes. YouTube would terminate.
Well, yeah, for the Chad Check clip, I think he definitely deserved it. Again, like if you go to a real job and you act like they're gonna get fired, I definitely think he deserved it for that. Do I think it was like good to do it? I don't know, because again, like, you know, some of these ideas can spread to other platforms, and that people start to create like hive minds around that. Like if you're gonna go seek out Sneako on Rumble, there's a chance you're gonna find other people on Rumble and you're gonna watch them. And since they're all banned creators, they'll probably say dumb fucking shit. You're gonna kind of engage in like a pipeline. Whereas if you watch Sneako on here, you might end up seeing something that's actually decent in your algorithm. That's somebody that maybe that's countering Sneako or something, or you know, or you'll see the comments will be like less agreeable because there's more people watching, and it could have like an impact on. Oh shit! I just fucking took the null on that one. It could have a more of a positive impact on the person viewing it if they're seeing these different things. So, you know, that's kind of an issue.
Sneako's second channel, Sneako, where most of the abrasive content was hosted. However, they didn't stop at
There's
that,
emotes on YouTube
and moved on to
the
deleting
more.
his entire channel as well. It didn't matter that he had run that channel for over a decade, as seniority is meaningless to YouTube. And down the drain went an entire decade's worth of dedication, and arguably even talents, just like that.
Yeah, again, the reason that it got taken down is because like he posted on his other, he got banned on one channel, and then I think he posted a video or he posted something on the other channel explaining why he got banned, and that's considered ban evasion to them. So they took his channel away. There you go.
I would go on about how the precedent that this kind of crackdown sets should be a warning to all of us, but these days, most people don't care about free speech anyway, so you know what, I won't waste my breath. Whether you agree or disagree with him, Sneako's young fan base, along with Tate's before him, are simply migrating to alternate websites or private chat groups, where they will continue to be as raucous and offensive as you can imagine. I have no idea what will happen when this cultural pressure cooker blows up, but I'm certain it means bad news for the people who banned them in the first place.
After nearly a decade of dedicating my life's work to YouTube.com, they terminated all of my channels. Not only that, but I'm gonna pursue legal action against Google for freezing 120,000 of my dollars because they terminated my account when they felt like it. So I posted a YouTube short on my main channel saying, hey guys,
how did they freeze 120 grand unless he was making like was he making that a month? This guy would pretend that he's not fucking making a ton of money when I talk to him. That he's making plenty of fucking good money. What a dumbass. What a fucking liar. Okay, crazy.
I can't stream for 2 weeks. I'll see you soon. And YouTube hit me with the circumvention a YouTube short on my main channel saying, hey guys,
Oh, yeah.
I can't stream for 2 weeks. I'll see you soon. And YouTube hit me with the circumvention strike, and that's how they were able to delete everything off the platform. A lot of these booster shot and
I should have just not done that. But now I know that if I ever got banned, I can't do that. So thanks for walking so I could run Sneako. Oh, so I could roll Sneako. Thanks, brother. Much appreciated from you.
brainwash YouTubers are trying to take credit for the fact that I'm banned, when in reality it's bigger than you. The government is watching me. The senator of Michigan played my clip of a stream. The committee, the chair of Homeland Security said that I'm a domestic threat and that I'm encouraging violence. What really happened is Susan got a phone call from somebody on Epstein Island saying, you need to get rid of this guy. He's growing too fast and he's exposing the truth. You need to get rid of him before he keeps waking people up. I am exactly who I say I am, and people don't believe the lies like they have with all these other martyrs of free speech.
Sneako's like the kid I saw it I watched Andrew Callahan's documentary about called I think This Place Sucks. It was really good on HBO, and there was a moment where they talked to like this white QAnon family, and not that their whiteness is relevant. I don't even know why I said they're white, and they talk to them. And the kids are like sitting here, and they're like, "Oh, everything's run by pedophiles. Everybody's like a reptilian lizard." And the dad's like really into QAnon. The mother like went as far as to pull the kids out of school so they didn't have to like wear masks because they thought that it was just gonna like turn them into like bad stuff. The kids were like, yeah, they were in on it. They were like all into it. They're like, yeah, but they were upset that they didn't have friends anymore because they got pulled out of school. And then afterwards, after like QAnon's predictions didn't come true, they're like, wow, I just feel like I got like completely taken advantage of. And Sneako just reminds me of that person. And I just wonder at what point does Sneako, or if he ever does, potentially goes, wow, I feel like I was taken advantage of by these ridiculous narratives I bought into because I'm a fucking moron.
I posted a list of names on my Instagram. Andrew Tate, Kanye West, Donald Trump, Alex Jones, Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, all these people who have tried to save freedom of speech, and Instagram took it down for violence. Time will tell, and eventually people will understand where I'm coming from.
The response from fellow content creators was, to say the least, largely indifferent.
Well, I mean, I tried to warn him. I tried to warn him.
Abba breached
yeah, YouTube.
Abba specifically shit on him because he was complaining about Abba, like not doing enough or something. Or he didn't speak out enough. You didn't speak out enough against my ban. Fucking weird.
I mean, look, it's YouTube's website. They can do whatever the fuck they want. If he broke TOS, then that's an L for him. But I warned him. I told him, like, he was moving mad. He was moving mad.
Shout out to Sneako. We talked about Sneako, didn't we? Basically just a manosphere, red pill, woman-hating loser.
Wannabe Tate.
Yeah, just another one, you know, another off-brand, insecure man. So anyway, he got banned, so we'd love to see it.
See you, partners.
See you, partner.
You can argue.
Imagine Ethan still had the credibility he used to have, and he said that. That would be... That'd be so much more powerful, I think. Now it just... I'm just being real, man.
That it's YouTube's right to simply wipe the existence of naughty people off of these sites, but don't be so surprised when it happens to you. We can celebrate or deride Sneako's ban all we like. It doesn't change the fact, as of the time of writing, we are ultimately at the whim of an unfeeling algorithm that picks sides, changes rules, and punishes anyone and everyone when it suits its need.
It took me a month to make.
I don't know, man. I feel like Sneako had a lot of concessions. When you have other content creators like Abba specifically, I was like, yo, you need to slow down. Destiny saying you need to slow down. Like, it didn't come out of nowhere. He was being intentionally provocative. And even in your video, you said he like ramped up the fucking diarrhea dial and became more provocative since he thought that the writing was on the wall. So I feel like it wasn't something that came out of nowhere. I think that there are a lot of problems. And again, I don't think that overall it should have happened. But you know, like with the whole sexual harassment thing. See, here's the thing. I'm actually fine with it. I could see why YouTube did it. I think that if anything else, like Andrew Tate probably shouldn't have been banned. That's somebody I'd be like more about that. But when it comes to Sneako, there's something different about him. There's like an incredible like about a disrespect that, and it's like so personalized. Like especially with like again sexually harassing Chad, where I'm like, yeah, this guy probably should. Like I can see why they would want to ban him. Whereas like Andrew Tate, I'm like, no, I don't think the guy should have been banned. I disagree with a lot of his ideas, but it's a little different. It's a lot different, honestly. So yeah, but that is what it is. Hey, what's up, Acrello? Logan Paul has responded to CoffeeZilla on YouTube. Did he? I don't know if I care that much about Logan Paul, honestly. People told me a couple times. I don't know, man. I find the guy so fucking boring, you know? So...
There's cinematics in it. It's like a short film. There's scripting. It's artistic. There's a really funny street interview at the end. I was basically playing the character of an incel to try to view women accurately in 2022. And this idiot watched this video, was like, oh my god, this guy's literally doing like an incel dude. He didn't even understand it because of his low IQ bot brain, and he probably made more money in 10 minutes reacting to my video that I spent a month making, pouring my heart and soul into, one of the best videos I ever made. So I'm like, why am I spending all...
But isn't this what he does? Is what?
this time investing into trying to change people's mind, trying to make difference on the internet where people are so easily brainwashed and influenced, when I could just react to shit, when I could just yell, because this guy's not funny, this guy's not entertaining, he's low energy, he's stupid and predictable, I can be better than this. And in 3 months, I almost got 1 million subscribers from nothing on my second channel, so fast that they had to ban me. So I wanted to prove the point that I can be better than these bots, and I did.
You're better than them, but you became them.
How did I become them?
Do you think that a spiritual void exists today in the Western world?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's a good... You became them, but you're better than them, but you became them. Yeah, so I guess by your logic, you wouldn't be better than them, man. Damn.
I believe in God.
When you're talking to people on your platform, I hear you guys talk about what it means to be successful, what it means to achieve, what it means to accomplish things. And all I ever hear you guys talk about are cars, mansions, 30 hoes. Why?
Because that's dope.
When you talk about those things, those are the exact types of journeys that lead you to the spiritual void.
Just like Tate, Sneako was vaporized from the platform. Perhaps it's a testament to what Nico used to create that there are entire channels created in the express name of preserving his back catalog of content. More so, it could be an indictment of where Sneako ultimately ended up, that his old content is what many of his fans look back on fondly. His subreddit, filled with these former fans reminiscing about the good old days, is especially telling of this. Sneako always wanted to step out from the crowd, to make his own way, something that is clearly reflected in his philosophical and political views. However, the end result of this fixation was that the fate of his online presence and content was decided not by himself or his fans, but by a blanket ban that cut him off from them permanently. For a man who wanted to make something new, something different, something uniquely him, who can look at what has happened and confidently say that this is not what he always wanted?
I need people to admire me. It's fucking corny. I desired fame for so long.
That's so weird. Like, I don't understand. Oh, I need this. I need to pick this up. Oh. Like, why do you feel like you need people to admire you? How do I throw the fucking shrapnel on, dude? This is pissing me off. Oh, I know what I have to do. I have to get into this bad boy. Okay, baby. Let's go. Fire this. Fire it at it. There we go. Why do you feel like you need people to admire you? Like, that's so weird. Like, that's the problem. Is like when you look back and you're like, oh, look, this guy was desperate for fame. Like, what can you really take from him that's actually like serious anymore? Other than like he was desperate for fame. Like, he'll just say anything he wants. I mean, it's a similar thing for Andrew Tate. I mean, he was on Big Brother. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Big Brother. Big Brother is a platform that's just about like doing weird games just to like win just to win. And you know how he was like canceled for that whole thing where he was being inappropriate with the girls or whatever, like the girls. I'm pretty sure that was him trying to like clout farm and be like, oh, I'm the tough guy that beats girls up in the bedroom and they like it because I'm a tough guy. You know what I mean? And it's like the same thing. You're talking about people who are so desperate to be popular. Like everybody wants to like generate some level of success, of course, but like this like desperation to be famous, like it's crazy. It's fucking nuts, bro.
That was I thought my life would be set if I'm famous. Fame brings a lot, but it turns you into kind of an egomaniac.
I will say that Nico seems like a man who has lost his way, so desperately in need of a mentor, someone to look up to and guide him, that he'll settle for Andrew Tate of all people. He's a series of conflicting ideas, a man who preaches traditional values, yet has an open relationship, went to orgies and—
He never preaches traditional values. He uses it as an excuse. Traditional value, like he wants an open relationships aren't traditional values. Fucking around as many women as you want isn't a traditional value. Traditional values are usually like settling down with one person. Even my understanding is he even misquotes like Islam when it comes to multiple wives. He doesn't have like an understanding of like the respect that's supposed to come with that in some capacity. He doesn't like promote traditional values at all. He's like a fucking he's a grifter, and in that sense, like he doesn't care about any traditional values at all. It's just about whatever he has to say. Oh, the Western world's terrible, and like one of the issues in the Western world is too much sex. Oh, but except that part, I really like that part. It's base. He's just he is literally what he advocates against, because there's no moral consistency in any of this manosphere like nonsensical bullshit garbage. It's just dumb fucking. It's just shitting diarrhea out of the mouth.
Enjoyed countless threesomes. A man who presents himself as humble and
what's up, baby? What do you? What's the food options?
He has obtained from being a content creator for a living. Someone who claims that he wants to wake his audience up from the mainstream narrative, while feeding that same audience his own narrative on how the world works, from an extremely limited set of experiences. Yeah. Maybe the most honest thing Sneako has ever said is that your views are always inside you. You don't need some random guy on the internet to tell you what they are. Sneako, however, at the time of writing this, is 24 years old and is still—
trying to mature, man. I'm trying to mature. But I still do dumb. Like, I'm aware of a lot of the mistakes I make, but I don't stop doing them. I just feel guilty about it afterwards. You know what I mean?
But that doesn't excuse the serious, real-life ramifications of his actions. And the question remains, is someone who cannot control their own ego and is still maturing in their own right, deserving of such a large platform that so many trust? Should anyone even look up to him?
I think you could cry in a video and say I have mental health problems. Twitter made me sad. I needed to take a mental health break because I was on Twitter too much. And they do that because liberals will all go in the comments and be like, oh my God, feel better. Oh, I'm so glad you're opening up. I'm also sad. I'm also sad. My therapist told me this. And all it does, you think that it's getting over your mental health, but all it does is encourage it more and more. It gives you a sense, it gives you dopamine that other people are like validating your mental health problems. When reality is,
but that's what he does, and that's when it comes to blaming women for like men's problems. It's the whole manosphere does this, so it's like ironic that they'll talk about this in any like profound way.
Your life hard? You're a successful YouTuber. You stream all day. Your life is easy. You have the easiest job ever. You have the best job ever, and Twitter made you sad. Get over it.
Today, it seems that many are simply looking.
I always talk about D'Angelo Wallace. Okay, I get that. Okay, sure.
For someone to trust, someone to believe in, someone to look up to. Simply put, there are no more heroes, and now we instinctively turn to others, whether rock stars, athletes, or in this case, internet father figures like Tate, to guide us. In a time when a lot of people are becoming increasingly discontent with the world in which we live, it's kind of understandable why people would turn to someone like Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, Sam Hyde, or Sneako.
Well, I understand Jordan Peterson more than any of these other people. I mean, like, the guy's going through a lot, but at least he's an intelligent person. Tries, you know what I mean? Like, I can respect that.
As someone to offer them something new. What may be important to keep in mind is that ultimately, these people are no different from us. Captivating and entertaining as they may be, they are often inconsistent, ego-filled hypocrites, grasping for some sense of meaning in a world ripe with questions and sparse in answers. For now, on Rumble, Sneako will continue looking.
Chat, Nick just texted me right now, and I can't, oh my god, that's gonna come on stream soon. Can I get some W's? I can't tell you, but Nick just texted me the dumbest shit of all time. I can't tell you yet, but let's go. Give me some, just trust me. I met Ye, I'm never gonna fail. I did it.
I've been Turkey Tom. Thanks for watching, and until next time, leave me alone.
All right, well, that was that video. Hey, that was from the Critical Drinker, I think. That's funny. I like that guy. He's cool. All right, let's see what the next video is here. It was
I was being ironic, okay? Listen, the soy face was ironic. It was guys that promise I don't drink soy, guys. I promise I don't drink soy. There's not an entire fridge full of Soylent 5 feet away from you, okay? You're gonna call me a soy boy when you're doing.
Isn't Soylent like the Soylent Green? Isn't that like dead bodies, like people? Whatever.
This shit, bro. Really? What the f is this? Yo, the Rumble ads are crazy. I haven't seen Sneako's reaction to my video yet, but he called me like a soy boy, which I don't know. I mean, visually, I'm fine with him calling me that. You know, I get it. I do have the, I do the soy face. I have the soy appearance. Certainly not on any kind of bulk right now. Okay, I'm not hitting the gym, but he actually did message me on Instagram, asking me to remove like some nudes from his video or something. And I didn't include any nudes in his video, so I was like, what are you talking about? Did he get some nudes leaked or something? And what he was talking about was like he did a paid photo shoot for some like homosexual cameraman, and he got pictures of himself like naked taken, like with his dick out. And I censored that. And it was in my video. It was like I used a clip of someone else's video, Brandon Buckingham's video, for my Sneako video. And Sneako messaged me and he was like, "Can you remove those nudes? Can you remove those nudes? Very unprofessional." And he kept trying to call me on Instagram, and I was like, "Dude, I'm not answering a phone call from you. I don't fucking know who you are." Or I don't know him rather, because you know Sneako's someone who I feel like he's the type of person to like try to ambush me on stream or something. I feel like he's the type of person to
he kind of did that to Brandon Buckingham, so I can understand why he would feel that way for sure.
Try to call me up while on stream. While he's on stream, rather, and like put me in a like uncomfortable position where he's like, "You leaked my nudes," and it's like, well, I didn't clearly, but you know, when he's saying that on stream, you can be pressured to say and do certain things, and I just didn't want to be in that position, so I was like, "You can type, little boy, you can type," and he.
Oh, is it like he was doing it on stream? Is that what it was? Okay. So was Sneako trying to call him while he was on stream? Okay, I didn't really understand what he was trying to say.
He did type to me. He was like,
"Dude, why?"
I would never do that publicly. I would never show this publicly, and maybe that's true. I don't really know. He did publicly admit that he was like bisexual or something. And I don't care that he's like gay or something. I don't really care that he's bisexual or that he did that photo shoot. It's just like, it totally contradicts his entire other messaging. So it's just like, why would I not bring that up in the video? Especially like I'm not the one who leaked it. It was already online to hundreds of thousands of people. I included it. I think he wanted me to remove the entire section. I didn't do that. I decided to blur it just because, you know, I don't know. It didn't take that much away from the video. And it's like, all right, if it actually upsets him that much, like, you know, I don't think I'd ever be in that position. But if if I did a gay photo shoot and someone else included it, and it was like supposed to be a private gay paid photo shoot rather than a public gay paid photo shoot, then maybe I would, you know, in his position, I was like, put myself in his shoes. Maybe I'd want that to be taken down. So I did blur the entire thing, so you can't actually see the picture of him anymore. But you can look it up.
I feel like I saw it still. Maybe it didn't finish processing or something. I don't know.
Easily, if you want to see it still. Yeah, it was a pretty.
This is from like an hour or two ago. That's probably he probably just blurred it, but it didn't go through yet.
Interesting interaction, and then like a day later, he posted this tweet. You guys have probably seen it. Actually, let me try to find it because it's definitely up there somewhere. So you can see here. This is the picture. This is the picture from my Instagram. I think I was like taking. I don't remember exactly what it was. But I think I was taking a shit.
Soy boy collage. YouTubers have made a hippies videos on making you explain, yet none of them are ever address the glaringly obvious trend of the picture. What's that? Because all four of them are pretty different looking. I guess it's Turkey Tom. like you have Moist Critical at the top here, who's like, I think he's like, I guess short, but he's very muscular. He's got long hair. Then you have Hassan, which is like a pretty big, tall, broad, muscular guy. Then you have Nick is Not Green, who's like kind of like a little, you know, he's a little smaller. He's not super big. And then I don't really know what Tom looks like outside of his face, but he's probably a little bit of an emo girl, you know. So okay,
I think that's what's going on in this picture. He says, the soy boy collage. The YouTubers who have made hit pieces on me continues to expand, yet none will ever address the glaringly obvious trend in this picture. They're not supposed to like me. And I guess I didn't really get this because, like, I don't think do we look all that similar?
No, you don't. You're white. Maybe he's.
I don't think I look anything like Nick is Not Green or whatever, or Hunter Avalon, or this guy.
I think that would be the closest. That's Jake Doolittle. I think that's the closest to look more like them than Moist Critical or Hassan.
I've been told I look like Hassan, maybe a little bit, but Hassan.
Jesus, man, you're coping. Anyway, what's interesting is that fuck. Sorry, give me like 1 second. Fuck, I didn't remember what I was gonna say. Let's continue.
Is like physically way bigger than me, right? And Hassan also, if he was in a fight with Sneako, Hassan would fucking murder Sneako.
Probably, yeah.
And I'm no Hassan fan. You guys know this, okay? You see my channel. You see me shit on Hassan all the time. He's probably like the person I've shit on the second most on this channel, other than Ethan Klein, right? Maybe third, maybe Pokemon's up there, but I'm no Hassan fan, but Hassan Piker would destroy Sneako in a fight. It would be embarrassing. I know in the video he said that I like don't think for myself or anything, but like within my video was way different than anything like these guys would make about Sneako, right?
It was definitely much more in depth, for sure. It was definitely much more in depth.
Because if these guys made videos about Sneako, they probably wanted him to get banned. And they probably were cheering it on. That wasn't my video. Like my video was
Moist. I think Moist was just like Sneako tried to hate farm Moist Critical, and damn, this guy's gonna get sucked in. And Moist like defended himself. I think Hunter Avalon just had a conversation with Sneako. Jake Doolittle probably made like a whatever video on him. Yeah, but from what I've seen, like yours is definitely different.
Relatively nuanced, I would say. I just called him a hypocrite, which he is. Like there's no way around that. I will say, I feel like I've ascended to a new level. And this is gonna sound like a cope a little bit, because people will be like, oh, well, you just put it in there because you actually like me or whatever. And that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying like, I feel like I've ascended to a new level if I'm included in a picture with Hassan and Critical. Like these are two of the most like famous people online. Nick is Not Green. I feel like he's probably less popular than me by a little bit, but he's still up there. And he's like a newer face as well. And he put me with these guys, which is like, I don't know. I'm not in a terrible tier, if that's the case, right? Like I'm growing. I'm more popular. And also,
true.
As far as calling me like a soy boy, like that's fine, but it's not like I have the same like, you know, soy boy politics, right? I'm not a lefty. I'm not a libtard. I'm not a liberal. So I don't know. As a basic insult, it's fine, because like, I mean, obviously, you know, if you just go to my video, the ban Andrew Tate clone, that's like the equivalent of what him calling me a soy boy, right? It's like a surface level insult that makes it easy to like click a video, right? Because Andrew Tate's name is way bigger than Sneako, and obviously he would get pissed off by Taco Tate or Andrew Tate clone, right? That would piss him off. So that's why I did that. But also, just it's good. Like, I don't know if it's clickbait, but it's clickbaity. You'd probably say that. And that's kind of the reason that I did that title. And obviously that's why he did the soy boy thing in his title, right? Because it's like, it just makes sense, you know? And the thing about Sneako too is like, I feel like I wasn't super hard on him in my video itself. I feel like I was relatively nice, but whatever. All right, here's the thumbnail. What the f is this? Yo. The Rumble ads are crazy. All right, listen, we're going to take a look at this Sneako video. We're going to see what he said. I actually...
Just leave this. Fuck this shit. Let me see something.
All right, let's watch.
All right, listen. I think I'm more interested in just watching what Sneako had to say.
The fucking hit piece.
Or I don't even know. I don't think I'm interested at all. I think I'm good. I watched that video with the intention to watch more, but frankly, I kind of just stopped caring. I feel like we got out of it what I needed to get out of it. I don't think that there's any reason to watch the two of them go back and forth at each other. Honestly, like I don't really do we feel the need to continue? Like, is there any reason to do more? Or
like I said, I haven't seen it yet. So this is gonna be your first off the cuff initial reaction to the Sneako video.
Hey, look at the soy boy collage. We added 2 to the top. Did you guys see there's another hippies video on me from another soy boy?
Why does he talk like that? You guys know this accent is fake? Like he totally fakes this accent? Because I know where this dude's from. This dude's from like New Haven, Connecticut. I'd say a very white area. And obviously he's not white, he's mixed race, but he puts on this like hood inflection. He says,
I thought he was from Brooklyn, bro. I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, he might be exaggerating it a little bit, but I don't think that's true.
Duh. He says, no cap now, which is not like in his normal dialects. Like he adopted that to seem more kind of cultural.
I feel like he's from Brooklyn.
Racial. It's kind of strange. I don't know. It's kind of like Billie Eilish faking like her accent, which she did for a while.
Kind
of cringe,
really.
kind of unbased.
And some people are going to say that it's not a hippies video, but it is. It is. They choose to say negative things about me, and because that's what does well. That's what does well. And I called it. I considered it hippies. I watched it last night. It's an hour long documentary about my whole life and basically my whole existence on YouTube until Elon Musk buys it back, or there's a new competitor, or Rumble just takes over. Like it
Elon Musk. Oh my God, the jerking off of Elon Musk is crazy.
Inevitably will.
This guy doesn't give a fuck about anybody. He doesn't know shit about dick.
My existence on YouTube.
Okay.
Didn't he say that it should be illegal for advertisers to pull out of his platform? Like, he's an idiot.
A few things. First of all, I did say negative things about him, but I didn't say them because.
Yeah, I don't know if I care too much about this.
In October 2022, the infamous YouTuber Sneako was banned from the platform. According to news outlets, this was due to him repeatedly breaking community guidelines, though the specific meaning of this is under consensus. A whole host of people, not
they always the type of person to just hide behind the screen. So there's people like me who like put themselves out there and like say risky stuff. People like this don't even have a stance on fucking anything. Their whole career on YouTube is just like shitting on other people, and it's like over like look at that Friday Night Degenerates, the Black Milk
channel on April 9th.
I'm a robot without anything unique, so I'm going to talk about other people, and I'm kind of a robot. I sound like the customer service line.
2013.
Yeah, this is pretty much just typical. There's really no reason to watch Sneako, because like he does unironically give the same take every time. He just kind of does like dumb shit and mocks people.
Naming it Sneako, a clear portmanteau of his first name. At the time, Nico's uploads to the channel considered being as transparent as possible, keeping the edge that.
You know what? You gotta make a video about me. Oh, that I'm only in it for the money.
Sneako would always have the propensity to collaborate with other creators to boost the growth of his online presence. When Drama Alerts, which back then was at the peak of its game, was looking for a guest star to read a series of statements by a notorious YouTube prankster.
Privately told you I'm not the screen. Barely talking about my career. Barely talking about the things I was saying. Not putting clips of my videos. Putting all the drama.
Take this hit to his pride, sitting.
Your channel got shut down, didn't it?
This guy still makes right-wing content on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I was told the story how I hired you to read something and you did it horribly and you tried to expose me.
Yeah, I was 16, bro. I mean, I learned from that. That was a long time ago. But ultimately, what I learned from that is I wanted to be independent and I didn't want to work for anybody. But I didn't know how to phrase it properly back then, and I'm glad that I decided to work for myself and not work for you.
However, this wouldn't be the only opportunity that.
Okay, is that it?
You would simply go their separate.
Here you go.
Another again after the better.
Yeah, I was 16, bro. I mean, I learned from. Remember me?
Would never again be.
Story how I hired you to read something.
Dude's afraid of me, bro. Never talks about me. You see that?
Horribly and you tried to expose me.
Bro, shut up.
We need like you can watch one, you get the point, bro. But look, you get 440,000 views. Like it's very profitable.
Just a man with zero values.
And you keep minutes, and he's still coping to this day. The biggest cloud chaser that I've ever had to do, so it would have to be non-consensual. Bro, this shit is just garbage, bro. I'm kind of glad.
So I've been making content about you. It's like reviewing your content.
Yeah, so look at the fucking bagel soy boy in the bottom left who called me stupid in the video. You see it? Look at this fucking dumbass. Look how fucking ugly you look. Look at that. I got to call 5 minutes. He's still coping to this day. It's not funny. Like at least it should be funny. Like it's really boring to listen to. Like everybody.
Wait, why does Sneako avoid me?
Your voice is annoying. Like that bottom line.
Screaming.
Wait, do you really think
you made jokes about eyelashes like 500 times.
And you keep watching it. And you keep watching it. And I've never seen your videos. And I've never seen your videos, and I never will. But you know my jokes. That's how much you watch my bro.
Very interesting. It's very interesting that Sneako is like refuses to acknowledge my existence. I wonder why.
Embarrassing.
We're used to taking the blue pill. We're not used to taking the.
I wonder why, dude. I must get under his skin like so much that every time he's very, very adamantly like I think he tries to hide from me. I think that I don't know. Yeah, this is boring. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna finish this shit. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't think I'm worth his time. Who fucking knows? Maybe he doesn't think I'm worth his time. Maybe he just doesn't want to have to like talk to me because he knows that he's a fucking idiot. I don't really know, man. All right, man. I think that's it for the day. I'm gonna bang out and go hang out with my wife. My wife. I'm gonna hang out with my wife. Insult. My wife. You're married?
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.